Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palates. I am Aaron Loomis, and with me, as always, is June Liu. How you doing, June?
Doing good.
So today we are talking about the Southern Draw Jacob's Ladder Robusto. Cigar is a bit of a Robusto Extra, 5.5 by 54 ring gauge. Comes out of the Tabacalera Fernandez factory in Nicaragua. Wrapper is Pennsylvania broadleaf, binder is Ecuadorian Maduro, and the filler is from Nicaragua. It's blended by Robert Holt. The price point is $9.49, and the cigar was released in October of 2017. So with that out of the way, June, why don't you take us through your smoking experience?
So this is one of those cigars kind of, when I look at something that is so thick and heavy and like Oscuro, kind of a wrapper shade to it, I think that it's going to give me a lot of earth. I think it's going to give me a lot of depth. And I'm expecting heaviness as well. So yeah, it definitely gave me a little bit of all of that stuff. So in terms of flavors, I got within the entire profile, a lot of cinnamon, like a gritty earthiness to it. Within the first couple of thirds, Mexican chocolate, super tasty. Baking spices, dry wood, but all of that heaviness and that earthiness was nice because I also got like an underlying like a natural sweetness from like dry nuttiness, and so that made it such that the cigar wasn't too spice oriented, which I always enjoy because it kind of it throws in some balance and complexities in there. So on the retro, just as kind of expected with any retro, most any retro, I guess. You get more pepper out of it, right? So black pepper, dry nuts, dry wood. There's a bit of stone fruits that came in and out. On the finish, very typical of like, broadleaf kind of a style where it's heavy on the palate with dry wood, cinnamon on the rear palate. In terms of strength, just kind of, I coming into this, I knew that this was going to be, if I'm not mistaken, one of Robert's most like intense in terms of strength wise. And it wasn't, like full throttle intense, I thought. It didn't get to anywhere above medium full for me. And the body was kind of like that medium plus size. So overall, a lot of earth notes, a lot of like deep notes.
Hmm.
Oh, and then within the construction aspect of it, I rated it, overall very good. Not the best, but you know, um, in terms of the burn, I thought that the only thing that was kind of markdowns, I guess you could say, so it got a little bit of a flowery ash going on, but slow burn. It should have increments of ashes. In terms of the draw, it was a little snug within the two samples that I had, but nothing to the point where like it was truly like a nuisance.
Right. Yeah, for me, it was like cocoa, dark wood, baking spices, a little bit of cream kind of joined in a little bit later in the first third. Getting the second third, more dark wood and creamy cocoa, a little bit of bitterness, wood bitterness kind of popped in here and there. And then in the final third, it was, creamy wood, along with a little bit more wood bitterness, kind of how things finished out. And strength-wise, it was slightly above medium. First third and second third through the rest of the cigar was medium full. So again, it didn't get full tilt, over the top strength, but it was definitely up there. But I think the flavor level was able to kind of match up with what was going on there. In regards to burn, a little bit wavy, throughout the cigar. Ash held on 1 inch increments. Nothing really to complain about too much. In regards to the draw, I thought it was perfect. Just the right amount of resistance I like. So I didn't have any complaints in regards to that. So overall, what were your thoughts on this cigar?
Um, so before most of my cigar reviews, I take a look at what's the wrapper, where's it from, what kind is it, all that kind of stuff, the literature of the blend, I guess. And when I read that it was Pennsylvania broadleaf, I'm typically not I'm typically not a fan of Pennsylvania broadleaf. I would say most Pennsylvania broadleaf that I smoked is a bit too drying on my palate, especially through the nose,
Mhm.
and it's a bit too spice forward. But in this scenario, I thought that it wasn't just that. Thankfully, it wasn't just that. I thought it was, yeah, it was like deeper, darker flavors, but I didn't feel like it was compromising, um, like mouthfeel, like making it too dry. I didn't think it was too heavy. I didn't think it was too sharp. I think that like dry nuttiness, that sweetness coming out of the dry nuttiness, really helped it to not make it so heavy. So I really like that. I mean, I think this fits into Southern Draw's portfolio very well. I mean, but this is definitely for me, your nightcap to enjoy within the Southern Draw lines and just any cigars out there in general. I mean, this is definitely a evening smoke and not something you wake up to and like wake and bake.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a lot of darker notes. I mean, you get the chocolate cocoa, dark wood, strength is up there. So it's definitely, a fuller bodied, fuller strength cigar, something for the, evening after dinner, like you said. Construction is really good. Tabacalera Fernandez is kind of a staple out of there. So you're kind of expecting that already from this cigar. Like you said, I think it's a good addition to the portfolio. I'm interested in trying, I think there's a Toro in this as well. So I'm interested in trying that size. But I think if you like fuller cigars, you like Pennsylvania broadleaf, you like Southern Draw, you like AJ Fernandez, if any of those things are something that you like, then I think you'll probably dig this cigar. So I'm up for smoking more of these. I dug it. So getting into the scores, I give it a 707. You give it a 692. How do you think that matches up with your experience?
Much as well. I mean, so in all fairness, I actually smoked 3 of these total. And the best one that I smoked overall was what I put in my review marks.
Mhm.
So based upon that cigar, I think it warrants that kind of a score, like high sixes, low sevens, pretty similar to what you gave, right?
Okay.
So what does that tell me? That tells me just good flavors. I mean, tells me good flavors, good dark flavors, good rustic kind of flavor profile. I enjoyed it, and from something that's out of AJ's factory, you're going to get good construction,
Yeah.
like consistently, right?
Yeah.
But going back to what I smoked within the other two, one, my palate wasn't exactly there. It was the show example in which we decided to actually smoke the post show examples,
Mhm.
right? So within the post show examples of 2 that we got, one of them was just not. It was just not good. Like I knew it was off,
Mhm.
right? It was really spicy. It was really heavy. It was so strong that it made me hiccup and cough a lot. But this last one that I smoked was all right. I get an understanding of like what people like about this cigar, right? Because after I wrote my review in, I read some other reviews out there, and I was like, oh, okay, so this is what it should be about, I
Right.
think.
Right.
So for anyways, with all that said, I enjoy this version of it.
Yeah, and my score is identical to yours, except for one higher rating on the draw. Otherwise, we scored it identically. So that was only a slight difference in our scoring. But I think it's a really good flavored cigar. I mean, it's not because it wouldn't be something I smoked every day, just because it's not. I'm not looking for that kind of strength level every day or that the darkness every day. I like some more nuanced flavors from time to time too. So, but it's definitely something I could see. You want to settle down for an evening with some scotch or some bourbon or something like that, and this is kind of the cigar that's going to hold up to those kind of spirits. So I dug it. Any other final thoughts from you on this?
No,
All right. Well, if you're just catching this video on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us, but also check out the full written review on the website, developingpalates.com. Be sure to follow us on all the social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Google+. You can catch all of our review recaps on podcasts, so iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next one.